Samantha Power is the new and youngest ever U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and she is facing her first big test as the U.S. looks to enforce the agreement to eliminate Syria's chemical weapons. I sat down with Ambassador Power this week for an exclusive interview inside the United Nations Security Council room. You got the deal on Syria. It does not have an automatic enforcement. So can you really say it's a resolution that has teeth that will bite?
This is the first resolution that has ever required Syria to do anything. Russia has been taking it by the hand, putting it under its wing and shielding it from any international pressure of any kind. We think it is very significant that Syria is now legally required by the world, by Russia and the United States, to give up its chemical weapons.
There was a time about a year ago when there were people inside the administration who were urging the president to do more to arm the moderate opposition. This was a time when Assad was weaker, when he was more on the ropes. Did the administration miss its moment? And is it fair to say that you could draw a direct line between that and the slowness of the world and what happened on August 21st?
Well, I think the United States has employed just about every tool in the toolbox short of invading Syria. We have put in place the most crippling economic sanctions that exist just about anywhere in the world. We've supported, again, these accountability mechanisms so that at some point justice will be done, and there is, we hope, for some kind of deterrent effect day to day in terms of the behavior of perpetrators.
Hard to go back in time, but had there been action to arm the opposition earlier, might they have been able to gain more of a foothold?
Again, from the beginning, the president has urged us to take every tool out of the toolbox, to scrub it, to see do the benefits outweigh the costs. We had very serious vetting issues and very serious vetting concerns, and some of those concerns continue. Indeed, some of them are more pronounced even today.
On Iran, you heard the Israeli Prime Minister say that Iran's new leader, Rouhani, is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and almost suggesting that the U.S. may be getting hoodwinked by him. What's your take?
The president has made very clear that our engagement with Iran will be on the basis of substantive progress. Given the new rhetoric and the kind of charm offensive, as some people refer to it, including the Israelis, the president felt it was very, very important to probe and to test and to listen and to see, is there anything new substantively being offered here? And I think that's our posture, skepticism, but a willingness to test this. There is a diplomatic window, but it won't remain open forever.
You had a tough introduction into the rough and tumble of politics with a comment about Hillary Clinton. Is that a searing learning experience?
Yes, in a word. It was beyond searing. I mean, what I found so upsetting was the idea that somebody like Secretary Clinton's icon to young women, then young women like me, this person who cared so much about women and children, who'd given her whole life to public service, could think for a second that I could think anything like that about her. I have regretted it pretty much every day since.
I know you apologized to her. I heard there were tears.
Certainly, it was very emotional for me. And I was so grateful to have the chance just to say in person what I had said to everybody. I would say, could you tell Hillary that I really, that I think she's a total rock star. She's changed the world in 1,000 ways. But to say it, to be able to say that in person was something that I'm immensely grateful to her to have given me that opportunity.
You wrote a book called A Problem from Hell. And I was thinking, now these are your problems from hell. No longer
Yes.
are you a writer or an observer or even an activist, but you're in a position of power.
Let me say, when I was a writer or a columnist or a loudmouth pundit, very easy. You could, at the end of the day, say, oh, I've spoken my piece. And now the discussions we have are internal. You're getting to have these discussions with the President of the United States, with the Secretary of State.
And do you almost feel that people are holding up that past life and saying, Samantha Power can't compromise. She's the one who wrote this book on genocide.
I think they're very entitled to do that. I mean, what helps is they bring to me constantly things that sometimes in the bubble of government one doesn't necessarily get exposure to.
I read an article that said, after 5 years as a bureaucrat, Power has learned to bite her tongue. And I thought, she would hate that if she read that.
Oh, I hope I've learned to bite my tongue. I have the opposite reaction. It's I think I'm making some progress, but it does take practice when you're a loudmouth like me, and you're Irish.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Savannah.
Our interview with UN Ambassador Samantha Power. Next, President Obama weighs in for the first time about the Washington Redskins name controversy. Will his comments change the debate? We'll have a live report, and our roundtable will be back with their insights next.